Hello, my lovely peaches. This is my new computer, and I'm trying to do a screen record. I have a new video open, but I wanted to get like the whole screen with the background. You can see so much more of my room than before. Let's see if I want to turn this on or not. Probably not. It's kind of dark. Maybe that's, I don't know if it's better with you can see my, so anyway, I guess it would be appropriate to show this beautiful, necklace. It's very pride friendly. Oh my God, there's a cat in heat out there. Yikes. So I do wonder how well this is filming. Oh my goodness. That's incense behind me. It's actually over there. Oh, that sounds terrible. You know, I'm going to take this moment to stop this and then record the real one and see how it differs.
lovedreamingpeach.com.
So this is the second part where I am recording just a quick time video on my computer. There's a loud airplane going by. So the first clip I was video recording the whole screen, and this recording I can hear an echo. I don't know if it's gonna get picked up or not. So the reason that I'm making this video is because I had compiled and screen recorded an AI voice speaking quotes from Donald Trump as well as Kamala Harris that show how Trump is a racist and how Kamala is fighting against it. Okay, so this is the third attempt. This is the third attempt to make an actual video. There's another airplane going by. I do live quite close to the airport, a very busy one. So the one that had some reverb, I think it was because I was accidentally screen recording while I was trying to film. So I just want to hear, I do hear that echo. Okay, let me try again. All right, this is part 4. So what I'm doing now is I just have a screen recording, a new movie recording window open, but I'm doing an actual screen recording, and it doesn't seem to have the reverb, and you can see my whole screen, which is kind of cool. So the purpose of this video, other than to do these experimental clips, is that I had compiled some quotes that Donald Trump had said that show he's all the isms and that he wants to turn into law additional horrible stuff. And then how Kamala Harris is an actual warrior for civil rights, for all people, for all kinds of different lifestyles and gender expression, sexuality, ethnicity, nationality, etc., etc. Okay, so again, to bring up that MAGA cultist who was like frantically commenting on my videos and has seemingly disappeared, and I hope it's for good unless she's finally opened her eyes, calling me a bully because I'm pointing out these truths and these words. When you call somebody racist, when you call somebody racist, misogynistic, sexist, xenophobic, if that's not true, and they've proven that that's not true, yes, that would be being a bully. But if everything they say proves that that is true, and that's what they promote, and that's what they believe, face the facts. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. So thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification. Don't forget to comment, ask questions, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, and listen. You can listen to the audio as well as read it on screen. Okay, see you. Bye. Hello, my lovely peaches. Here's another audio reading of a report that I put together on various quotes that Donald Trump has said that show how he's aligned and believes in and promotes and desires racism, sexism, misogyny, xenophobia, transphobia, and homophobia. And then comments that Kamala Harris has said that show how she fights against it and how she fights for equality for all. So I thought I had meant to include this section in the many sections of the long video that I'm premiering. Currently, the premiere is probably ending right now, so I've decided I'm going to go ahead and do this as a standalone supplemental. Here we go. And I'm going to go park my car.
Here's a detailed breakdown of Donald Trump's statements and actions aligned with racism, sexism, misogyny, xenophobia, transphobia, and homophobia. Racism. Kamala Harris name mockery. Trump has consistently mispronounced Vice President Kamala Harris's name in various disrespectful ways, including Kamala, Kamala, and Kamala. At a 2024 rally, he joked about mispronouncing her name on purpose, stating, "Some people think I mispronounce it on purpose, but actually, I've heard it said about 7 different ways." His mockery perpetuates an attitude of othering Harris and dismissing her identity as a Black and South Asian woman, PolitiFact, Diaz. Recently turned Black. In another instance, Trump said that Harris just recently turned Black, diminishing her heritage and making light of her racial identity, Diaz. Central Park 5. In 1989, Trump took out a full-page ad calling for the death penalty for the Central Park 5 Black and Latino teenagers wrongfully convicted of assault. Even after their exoneration in 2002, Trump refused to admit they were innocent, PolitiFact. One of Trump's most infamous moments came in July 2019, when he suggested that 4 Democratic congresswomen of color should go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came, despite 3 of the 4 being born in the U.S. and all 4 being American citizens. He doubled down on this statement, calling them anti-America. Sexism. E. Jean Carroll. Trump infamously said, "She's not my type," in response to E. Jean Carroll's accusations of sexual assault. During a 2022 deposition, however, he confused a photograph of Carroll with his ex-wife Marla Maples, undermining his own defense, People Mag. Chosen One comment. In a recent economic speech, Trump referred to another woman who accused him of sexual assault, stating that she wouldn't have been the chosen one. This remark not only denies the allegation but demeans the accuser as unworthy of his attention. Diaz. Repeated defamation of Carroll. After losing a defamation case to E. Jean Carroll, Trump publicly attacked her again, defaming her for the 3rd time despite a jury already siding with Carroll in her earlier lawsuit, People Mag. In August 2023, Trump continued making derogatory comments about women. During an interview with Tucker Carlson, he downplayed sexual harassment claims made against him, asserting that women accusing him are part of a political conspiracy. This echoes Trump's history of misogynistic comments, such as his infamous Access Hollywood tape in 2005, where he bragged about grabbing women without their consent. His derogatory remarks about women, including calling them fat pigs or critiquing their appearance, have persisted over the years. The week. Misogyny. Derogatory statements about women. Over his career, Trump has made numerous derogatory comments about women. From calling women fat pigs and dogs to belittling female political opponents, his pattern of misogynistic language is extensive and consistent. Criticism of female journalists. Trump has routinely targeted women journalists with personal attacks. For instance, he insulted NBC's Katie Tur, calling her Little Katie, In a mocking tone, Diaz. Attacks on Hillary Clinton. During the 2016 campaign, Trump referred to Hillary Clinton as a nasty woman, an insult he's often repeated toward women he opposes. PolitiFact. Xenophobia. Mexican immigrants. Trump's campaign launched in 2015 with the infamous comment that Mexican immigrants were rapists and criminals. He's repeatedly painted immigrants as dangerous threats to American society, often without evidence. Muslim ban. In 2017, Trump implemented the Muslim ban, a policy that restricted travel from several predominantly Muslim countries, based on the xenophobic claim that it would protect the U.S. from terrorism. PolitiFact. In 2023, Donald Trump continued using divisive rhetoric, particularly towards people of color. During a rally in Waco, Texas, he claimed that immigrants are bringing tremendous amounts of crime into the U.S., specifically targeting Latino communities. This reflects a pattern of racist remarks he's made in the past, such as calling Mexican immigrants rapists back in 2015. Trump has also embraced policies that disproportionately affect Black and brown communities, such as supporting police forces that have been criticized for their handling of racial justice protests. Comments at NABJ convention. At the National Association of Black Journalists conference in 2024, Trump falsely claimed that immigrants are taking Black jobs, a baseless assertion that both undermines immigrant workers and perpetuates racial division. PolitiFact. Trump's speeches in 2024 continue to promote xenophobic ideas, particularly with his focus on border security. He promised to immediately terminate every Biden border policy and referred to asylum seekers and immigrants as invaders, implying they are a threat to the country's safety and culture. These statements build on his earlier policies, such as the Muslim travel ban and separating families at the U.S.-Mexico border, which have drawn widespread criticism for their xenophobic undertones. National Sexual Violence Resource Center. Transphobia. Military ban. Trump's administration reinstated a ban on transgender individuals serving openly in the U.S. military, claiming they would be a burden due to healthcare costs, despite military reports showing otherwise. PolitiFact. Attacks on transgender athletes. Trump has repeatedly made derogatory statements about transgender athletes, claiming they have unfair advantages in sports. These remarks align with his broader rhetoric against the transgender community. Bathroom bills. Trump has supported discriminatory bathroom bills, which aim to restrict transgender individuals' access to bathrooms that align with their gender identity. PolitiFact. The reality is that we have all been going to the bathroom with transgender folks since bathrooms existed. In 2024, Trump ramped up his transphobic rhetoric, particularly when discussing issues like transgender athletes in sports. He claimed he would ban transgender women from competing in women's sports if re-elected, labeling it a fight for real women. This continues a pattern of his earlier transphobic policies, such as rolling back protections for transgender individuals in the military and education. Specifically, Trump recently targeted a woman who was born a woman, but was mislabeled as a man, and despite the fact that she's proven she is a natural-born woman. Trump continues to push the lies that she's a man and transgender in boxing in the Olympics. 2024. This is a hateful lie and also very dangerous. Imaine Khalif, Algerian professional Olympic boxer. According to the International Lesbian and Gay Associations, May 2008 report same-sex relationships are illegal, restrictions on freedom of expression, no adoption possible, no same-sex union, no legal gender recognition for transgender people. So Donald Trump promotes lies that are dangerous to the specific person he's lying about as well as everyone. Homophobia. Opposition to same-sex marriage. Though Trump has claimed to be a supporter of LGBTQ+ rights, his administration's policies, including appointing judges hostile to same-sex marriage, have undermined those rights. Rolling back protections. Under Trump, the Department of Health and Human Services sought to roll back protections for LGBTQ+ individuals, specifically allowing healthcare providers to refuse services based on religious beliefs. PolitiFact. Mocking Pete Buttigieg. Trump has publicly mocked Pete Buttigieg, a gay man who ran for president, questioning whether he could be presidential due to his sexual orientation. PolitiFact. In 2024, Trump continues to downplay the rights of LGBTQ+ individuals. He has repeatedly endorsed anti-LGBTQ+ legislation and vowed to eliminate federal funding for schools that promote gender ideology. This mirrors his administration's rollback of protections for LGBTQ people in housing and healthcare during his first term. His rhetoric often aligns with conservative positions that deny the validity of same-sex marriage and gender-affirming care. The Week, National Sexual Violence Resource Center. Here are detailed examples of Kamala Harris addressing the issues of racism, sexism, misogyny, xenophobia, transphobia, and homophobia. Racism. Central Park 5. Harris has directly criticized systemic racism in the justice system, referring to historical cases like the Central Park 5. In an interview discussing these injustices, she said, "We can't forget that these men were wrongfully convicted because of a broken system that disproportionately impacts Black and brown communities." Police reform. During the 2020 campaign, Harris advocated for the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which she said was about accountability and stopping the disproportionate targeting of Black and brown people by law enforcement. Mispronunciation of her name. Addressing the repeated mispronunciations of her name, Harris remarked, "It's about respect, and when people deliberately mispronounce my name, it's not a mistake, it's disrespect." This was in response to Donald Trump, who repeatedly mispronounced her name during rallies and mocked the variety of ways it could be said. Wosu, Oxford Academic. Sexism. E. Jean Carroll. In response to questions about how survivors of sexual violence are treated, Harris condemned Trump's remarks about E. Jean Carroll, stating, "When the most powerful man in the world dismisses sexual assault allegations by saying she's not my type, it sets a dangerous precedent that undermines survivors' voices everywhere." Women's rights. Harris has been a fierce advocate for women's rights, stating in 2023 that no one should dictate what a woman can do with her own body. This fight is about freedom, autonomy, and the fundamental right to control your own life. Sexual harassment. In a 2024 speech, Harris said, "I've faced sexism my entire career, as have so many women. We fight for our seat at the table, and we make sure no one else is denied that opportunity." Misogyny. 2024 presidential campaign. Harris has called out the misogynistic attacks she continues to face in her campaign. In an interview, she said, "It's not new, but the intensity of these attacks against women in positions of power is designed to intimidate and silence. We won't back down." Gender pay gap. Harris has repeatedly advocated for gender equity in pay. In a 2023 economic address, she said, "For every dollar a man earns, a woman still makes less, especially Black and Latino women. This isn't just about fairness, it's about economic justice." Attacks on ambition. In response to criticisms of her ambition, Harris stated, "They've always criticized women for being too ambitious. Well, I'm proud of my ambition, and I hope every little girl watching knows she should never apologize for hers." Xenophobia. Immigration policies. Harris has consistently opposed xenophobic immigration policies. In a 2024 interview, she said, "Demonizing immigrants, calling them criminals or rapists, is not just wrong, it's un-American. Immigrants built this country, and they deserve respect, not scapegoating." Separation of families. Harris strongly condemned the Trump administration's family separation policy at the border, calling it one of the most cruel and inhumane policies we've seen, a policy that deliberately traumatized children and families. Anti-Asian hate. In 2021, Harris condemned the rise in anti-Asian violence, stating, "These attacks are fueled by racist rhetoric. We must call out xenophobia in all its forms and stand in solidarity with our Asian American brothers and sisters." Transphobia. Transgender rights. Harris has been a staunch advocate for transgender rights. In 2023, she said, "Transgender Americans have the right to live with dignity, free from fear and discrimination. We must protect and uplift them, not pass laws that deny their humanity." Military ban. Harris has been a vocal opponent of Trump's transgender military ban, stating in 2019, "The idea that someone would be denied the right to serve their country because of their gender." Here are some recent quotes from Kamala Harris on homophobia and LGBTQ+ rights. June 26, 2023, Pride Month. In a tweet marking the anniversary of the Supreme Court's decision in Obergefell v. Hodges, she stated, "Today we celebrate the progress we've made for LGBTQ+ rights. But we must remain vigilant and continue to fight against hate and discrimination in all its forms." June 15, 2024, Pride Month. At a Pride Month event, Harris said, "LGBTQ+ rights are human rights. We must stand united against the rising tide of discrimination and ensure that every individual is treated with dignity and respect. July 21st, 2024. During a town hall meeting, she remarked, "Homophobia has no place in our society. We must continue to work towards a future where everyone, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity, can live freely and without fear."
At lovedreamingpeach.com.